Так, ну что, начал я проходить Элдорант. Некогда я услышал о ней, очень давно уже, о том, что это настолько годный мод на Skyrim, что просто его нельзя было обойти. Посмотрю, что за игра. На самом деле, я уже 4 часа поиграл, и в принципе, можно сказать, что довольно интересно. Начало было довольно нудным, непонятным, но а дальше, когда уже начался сам геймплей, стало немного поинтереснее. Намного разнообразнее, чем Skyrim. Вроде бы как играешь Skyrim, но на самом деле не Skyrim. В общем, довольно интересно. Я думаю, игруха затянет. Не знаю, на сколько часов. Где-то я читал, что она около больше, чем на 100 часов прохождения. Если прям все досконально изучать, все пробежать, не думаю, что у меня прям настолько хватит времени. Но сколько-то-нибудь пройдем. В общем, такое вот вступление. Погнали к самой игре.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Ничего не понял. Ну ладно. Придется пробежать еще раз. Ну да ладно. В теории это просто какой-то кошмар. Ох, солнце, конечно, слепит. Жесть. Поговорить с папочкой.
I didn't see you coming. So, how did it go? Did you find it?
Мы дома. Спрашивать не будем. Нет, у меня не получилось.
Pity. Maybe you're simply looking in the wrong places. Did you ever think of that? Oh, well, who knows? Say, why don't you go inside and see if you can help Mommy with the cooking? The Creator was kind to us today and sent a big, fat elk right in front of my bow. All right?
Погнали. Ну, кстати, здесь висят вещи женские. Ну и маленьких детей. Хотя непонятно, какого мы размера. Но если подойти так и посмотреть, то мы на его уровне. Или чуть пониже, наверное. Да, мы, наверное, пиздюк. Ну, такой, лет 15, наверное. Ну, погнали. Тут сердце Доэдра. Я уже заметил. Вино. Можно бахнуть. Ой. Ой-ой-ой. Так, что тут? Лук-пари. Везде книжки искусства хрустящего мяса. Нет, ты не пройдешь. Если я сейчас скрипт сломаю этим ведром, это будет рофл. Нет.
My, I
Нет.
totally forgot what a mess I left
Ты
here.
не сможешь
But I
пройти.
was right, wasn't I? A real gem we've got here. What? Now would you look at that? I totally forgot
Ты
about
говоришь с ведром, чел.
They're dead. Don't you remember?
Ты говоришь с
You
ведром.
murdered them back then. Both of them. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk, right? At least this means there's more meat for the two of us. You still remember how to do this, right? First, off with the skin. Slice up the belly, then out with the entrails. I'll look for a nice sharp knife in the meantime to cut off the head. I don't think either of us wants to eat that, do we?
Чел с ведром разговаривает. Чел.
Oh, silly, what's this again? We both know that's a lie. You did
Что с
it.
тобой не
I
так?
remember it all. First, you set this horrible fire to your sister's crib. She screamed and screamed, and Mommy heard it, but
И
when she finally got
я
there,
с ведром разговариваю.
nothing was left of her
Непонятно
but
кто.
burnt flesh.
На ведре написано папочка.
Oh gosh, do we really need to go through this again? You know how sad it makes me when you do
Да
this.
это
You
был
killed
не
it,
я.
period. No matter how often you tell me you didn't, it changes nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Now please, let's start cooking. I'm so bloody damn hungry.
Да не
by the
я это.
Creator's name, why are you telling these lies? Isn't it enough that you murdered us? Do you really have to bother me over and over with your stupid, pathetic, and pointless whining? You know, sometimes I wish the Creator
Я уронил ведро.
made me just a little less merciful. Just a little less
Ой-ой-ой.
pious. Then I would have realized that you were tainted by sin long before any of this had ever happened. And instead of raising you, feeding you, and loving you like a father does, I would have put you in the horse trough right after you were born. Yes, I should have killed you. I should have just killed you. Just like you killed us. And now, you think you're safe because we're all under the earth, don't you? Well, listen up, my child. You are wrong. And do you know why? Because the dead don't forget. Do you hear me? The dead don't forget. Now enough of this useless chatter. I'm bloody starving. Bring me the meat, you spoiled brat. Bring it to me. Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat. Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat. Bring me a nice
должен
crisp piece of
признать
meat. Bring me a nice
криповенько.
crisp piece of meat. Bring me a nice crisp
Если бы он
piece
еще
of
это на
meat.
русском это орал, это было бы вообще. Так как он это на английском еще орет, еще нормально. Но было бы это на русском. Неплохой такой кошмар.
Let's begin with a question.
Сейчас я еще получше послушаю.
It might sound simple to you at first, but I pray you to think about it.
Так, слушаем.
What distinguishes a free man from a slave? For now, however, let us start this story where another one ended 3 years
Так, 3
ago,
года назад.
with the death of the Lightborn.
Рожденные светом.
For 4,000
Умерли.
years they had reigned over this world,
Так, они правили
7
4000
arcanists,
лет.
who through their magic had acquired eternal life.
Они были бессмертными.
In a time
Но,
of
видимо, не
chaos,
такими уж и
they gave
бессмертными.
mankind what they thought it needed most. To be ruled over with an ironclad, fair hand. Within just 1 century, they united the shattered lands, and a single century later, their human origin was forgotten. They became gods, or Lightborn, as they let themselves be worshipped as. Yet the longer they reigned, the louder the voices grew that accused them of tyranny. The loudest being that of Naranzul Aranthi. And he succeeded in achieving what was once thought impossible. He gathered an army, overturned the Lightborn, and gave back freedom to mankind. However, the price for this was high, because where there are gaps of power, fights erupt. As such, this world grew into what it is today, shattered, riven, and broken into pieces.
Ну, кстати, кат-сцены не самые дешевые. Это все еще нужно
But
было
all of
нарисовать.
this was merely a diversion, so that no one would notice something else. The death of the Lightborn had set something into motion.
Смерть их
Clockwork,
что-то пробудила.
having long stood still, its gears now once again slowly began to turn. This is the story of someone who wanted to be free.
Shh, hey, quiet, damn it. You wanna wake up the entire ship or what?
Опа. Мы что, на корабле, что ли?
Well, sorry. That was a bit harsh. I'm just nervous, that's all. It was that dream again, wasn't it?
Блин, странно, что все еще не перевели игру на русский. Это прям очень странно.
Uh-huh.
Серьезно.
Seriously, if we had a penny for every night since we met where you woke up screaming, we'd probably be traveling to Enderal in our own starship and... Well, not like this.
Кошмары.
Some things never change, I guess. Do you ever ask yourself
Wars
if
never
maybe you
changes.
blame yourself for all of this? For what happened to your family, I mean?
Может, в этом и есть моя вина. Но даже если так, какая уже разница? Тут самый дефолтный второй.
None. You're right. But who knows? Maybe everything is going to be different now. It's strange, isn't it? The way life sometimes goes. Now, if you had told me that a few weeks ago, I would have at the very least called you insane. But if the stories are true, there's no better place for a fresh start. Can you believe it? Apparently there aren't even any slaves on Enderal. It's amazing. Only this whole blind passenger thing is making my head ache.
Корабль плохо охраняется, а не наша вина. Так к тому же мы не могли оплатить поездку.
Not our fault. Damn it, we're thieves. Frauds. And unlike you, I actually have a problem with that. But anyway, what's done is done.
Ему это не
I
понравилось,
just hope the
кстати,
Endralians are
написал.
easier on
Интересно.
Outlanders than the Nevermese are.
Некоторых
Your mother
это
was a
могут
fugitive as
нравиться, а
well, wasn't
некоторые
she?
нет.
Where exactly did she come from? You've told me 100 times, but I just keep on forgetting it.
О! Выбор персонажа. Полуаразиалец, полуаэтерна, полупокер и какой-то полурак, полухуй. Что это? Полуукраинец? Полуукираниец? Что? Я не расист, конечно. Можно вообще выбрать вот этого загорелого типа. Пойдет. Он же в пустыне там, да? Надо волосами поработать. О, сразу видно. Леон. В бой. Закончить, выбрать имя. Он полукираниец. Пойдет. Нормальное имя для полукиранийца. Полукираниеца. Полукиранийца. Полукиранийца, да. Все, пойдет, поехали.
Right, I remember. She fled from that civil war the Black Crescent caused, didn't she? Ironic, isn't it? Seems some parents pass on their fates to their children. Anyway.
Вздремнул.
I'm gonna hit the hay for an hour or so. It's your turn to stand. Wait. You hear that? Shit. Someone's coming.
Women nowadays just don't want a man to court them anymore. That's the problem. I tell you, sometimes I long for the good old days, back when I could lift a skirt and nobody would bat an eye. Anyway, enough of the chit-chat. Now, where did I put that key?
Oh, blazes, what do they want down here? The lamp, quickly, put out the lamp. Good. Now, quiet.
Куда ты побежал?
Piece of shit.
Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой, сильно бьет. Ой-ой-ой. Ты куда лезешь? У тебя вообще ебало сломано. Бей его, бей его. Вроде не своего бью. Нормально. Бьем, бьем. У нас есть танк в лице Сириуса. Это Рик. А второй должен быть Морти? Нет, Сибальд.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. That wasn't part of the plan. Not at all. What in blazes are we going to
Что у
do
меня
now?
с левой рукой?
Yes, of course. That makes sense. One of them said it's not much longer until we arrive. With a little luck, no one will notice they're gone until then. Come on. Help me search. There must be a rope or something. I thought we were over the hump when we made it on board. It just can't ever be easy, can it?
Что с ними делать? Так, уложить спать. Аккуратно. Стойка солевого. А, вот, я должен был найти веревку.
What the? Who are you?
You are confused by my sudden appearance. But my identity is irrelevant, as are you, dear Sirius. Unfortunately.
What? Oh shit, please don't tell anyone we're down here, please. We didn't mean any harm. These guys were just...
You ask that I not reveal you, for your intentions were not evil. And I believe you, but sadly, it's not compassion that rules my deeds. The first beat of a wing must happen. It is the only way the probabilities will fall into place. This is the way it has to be. The way it has been for eons. I am sorry.
What the? Oh no! No! What are you doing? Please! Please don't leave! We just wanted to...
After we had left Osteen, the two of you hid in the cargo and lived on our stocks. Then when Rick and Sebald found you, you gave them a beating. And all of a sudden, a veiled woman appeared and knocked you out with wild magic. Is that about it?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Please, my dame, we didn't have a choice. You've got to believe us. The war, we just wanted a second chance. That's all.
A second chance. Yes, I think I understand you. You wanted to start a new life in a new land. And as my ship is one of the only ships still sailing the route since the wars, you were simply forced to board without paying.
Yes, we could work for you. You know, we could scrub the deck, peel potatoes, anything to pay off our debt. And as soon as we've arrived...
Heartbreaking. How truly, truly heartbreaking. But let's be honest. You did have a choice. You could have signed on like all the others did, but you didn't. Instead, you nested on my ship like flesh maggots, enjoying the good life while my crew actually had to earn their keep. And now you're feeding me this bullshit about veiled women and wild magic? How stupid do you think I am? I know your kind. You are cutthroats, filchers. At least have the guts to admit it.
What? No. You're wrong. Please, just let me explain. I
don't give a shit for your explanations. If there's one thing I hate more than cowards, it's people trying to pluck my heartstrings. You two are scum. And there's only one kind of punishment for scum on my ship. Pull him up, Ruger.
But Captain, they...
Do it.
Of course, Captain. I'm sorry, lad. You should have stayed in their room.
But... You can't do this.
Oh, believe me, I can.
Не понял. Не понял. Это что за магия?
Oh, well, look at that.
Бля, мне стало страшно.
Rise and shine.
У нее какой-то бесконтактный бой, она его обнулила нахуй.
Бесконтактный бой при правильном и грамотном освоении становится страшным оружием. И можно с уверенностью утверждать, что это высший уровень мастерства в боевых искусствах.
Good luck in your new life, friend.
Жесть. Что случилось сейчас? Да, очевидно, что, скорее всего, бах, и она должна была его убить, но по итогу произошло бесконтактное убийство.
Tell me, what is time to the dead? Dreaming anyway.
So many people just talk, and
How
never...
does it feel to be powerless?
This is about your damn pride, Tina.
I know I'm not real. At least not according to your definition.
I know damn well I'm doing.
It's just... There was nothing I could do.
This isn't happening. But then again, this just isn't happening. What is reality anyway?
Selfish fool!
Это было громко. Что? Где я? А где я? Тут красиво, кстати. Поплыть нельзя, тоже жаль. Так, но пока я тут могу поставить паузу. А, можно на Y найти и выйти, нажать и выйти отсюда. Эти воспоминания откроют для вас все дисциплины мага. Вы можете получить ускоренное восстановление маны, талант фокус, который уменьшает затраты маны для всех заклинаний на 33% на короткий промежуток времени. Ага. До 35 секунд. У меня очков навыков, очевидно, нет. Кромсания. Волчьей крови и химикумов. Что? Волчья кровь. Угу. Ну ладно, пока только что тут непонятно ничего. Ну да ладно. Я так понимаю, это древо прокачки. Я туда буду часто заходить, скорее всего. Что-то там медитация была написана. Головокружение. И где я? Так, журнал Манджи. Все. Почему куда-то сюда? Руины прямо как в видении. Так, можно пойти в руины, а можно пойти по следам крови. Ага, ничего нет. Ну, значит, только храм. О. Ой, блядь. Рудниковая крыса, тварь. Они меня сейчас сожрут. Убить. Шел нахер. Иди ты нахер. Чё за жесть? Чё это такое? Цветок вольфаса. Пшеница. Зелье прилива здоровья. Пригоркое. В сундуке эндеральский черствый хлеб. Насыщает вас в течение 300 секунд и дает длительное восстановление здоровья вне боя. Чем выше ваш общий уровень здоровья, тем больше здоровья будет восстановлено. Восстанавливает 6 единиц здоровья. Вот теперь мне надо его захавать. — 300 секунд действует, можно идти в храм. Ну, блин, страшновато, что мы без оружия, без ничего вообще. О, звуки пещеры Скайрима. Я буду часто со Скайримом сравнивать, я на него как раз и ориентируюсь. Это какие-то две мирские постройки. Давайте. Это статуя Мары. Чего-то не хватает для активации механизма. А что такое? Рунный ключ. Ага. Поднимаются камни. Видимо, сейчас лестница построится. А можно сразу на последний стать. Летучие мыши. Куда же без них? Но, кстати, пещер я таких не видел в Скайриме. Такие резные и круглые. Левел дизайн Скайрима на такое не рассчитывал. Так, 3 пути, мы пойдем налево. Там заклинание заземление. Можно магию. Заземление в одну руку. А кирку, получается, в другую. Во. Теперь я мах-шахтер. Let's go, boys. А вот это амброзия, которую я подобрал. А, уменьшает лихорадку на 20%. Ага. Металлолом древнего народа. Отмычка. Похоже на ключ. Интересно, противники будут? Опа. Нужен спальный мешок. Несъедобное пиво. А я его есть и не собирался, честно говоря. Так, а где вот эти книжки? Недостаточно очков обучения. Что? Мне еще нужны будут очки обучения, чтобы читать книги? И что? Пустой скелет. Зелье здоровья. Вроде больше ничего. Можно поспать, восстановить здоровье. And open. Тут что-то было. Что-то было. Что было? А, свисающий мох. Что? А, вот этот. Забрать. Почему бы нет? Ну, мало ли, вдруг пригодится. Трупы и свет. Они исчезли. Ну, я маг-волшебник. Мне, в принципе, не страшно. Вот так, чуть-чуть, может быть. Ладно, ничего тут нет. Поехали, заброшенный храм. Пока ничего не понятно, но очень интересно. Это устройство, почему оно выглядит настолько знакомым? Кстати, интересно, Давакин в Скайриме вообще, не думает. Ни разу его не слышно. А тут мысли про себя есть какие-то. Ледяной коготь. Вы нашли ледяной коготь. Ледяные когти, их можно найти в вашем инвентаре в разделе пища. Увеличивать переносимый вес на 1 единицу после поедания. А, навсегда? Прикольно. Сейчас у меня максимальный переносимый вес 353. Так. Какие-то провода, что ли? Не, все-таки новых текстур накидали. Окей. Но очень много взято референсов. Ну да. Вот смысл, если есть куча текстур, 2 мирских, почему бы их не запихнуть? Ну, какие-то древние люди, или что там было написано? Металлолом древних людей, или что-то такое. Так. Что у нас тут? Честно. О, видите. А, он поднимает вверх. Все. Сейф. Контрол можно красить. Да кому этот стелс нужен? Давай. Я погнал. На выход. Все. Орлаты — это секта, живущая в тоннелях под городом, возглавляемая таинственным отцом. Папочка, ты ли это? Все только начинается. Он же не выйдет за мной? Нет. Так, соберите тыквы для восстановления здоровья, соберите грибы маны для ускорения восстановления маны. Тыква. А грибы? Какие грибы? Какие мне нужны грибы? О! Лунная морковь. Ну так это ж собачий корень, но только побольше. Ну, ладно. Ладно. Вроде справляется. Поехали в заброшенную башню. Может, залутаем что-нибудь? Что-нибудь, кроме мисок. Спасибо. Можно пока поставить на прокаст. Так, медитация. Ага, так. Ну, можно поставить... А как? Вот избранная. Вот так вот. Я шарю за избранное. И можно сразу с 2 рук теперь кастовать. Я никогда не проходил в Скайриме за магом. Как раз будет интересно пройти эту игру. Смотреть тело. Человеческое мясо. Супер. Классно. Магический снаряд. 1 из сотни. Дал 52 опыта, да? О, это очко опыта, я так понимаю. Человеческое сердце, человеческое мясо. Ну, мало ли вдруг пригодится. О, вон оно. А шо с лицом? А чё случилось? Чё случилось? Минус тролль. Сюда. Я бы его в жизни не убил на 1 уровне. Учитывая, что сложность сразу максимальная стоит. Опа. Стародеяние бродяги. Яд. Зелье здоровья. Пригодится. Так, можно, наверное... Блин, немного не разбираюсь. Так, это оружие, снаряжение, зелья. Это пища. Ингредиенты. Это книги, свитки, ключи и разное. Все. Вроде более-менее понял. Так, это дает даже какой-то доспех. Так. Бля, реально ли он получился? Ну, какой-то он... Ну, не очень. Ой-ой-ой, старый сундук. Посох пламени. Так, сгусток огня наносит 5 единиц урона от огня в секунду. Цели получают доп. Урона от огня. Солнечный берег. Ну, неплохо уже залутали, неплохо. Что-то есть. Нельзя сказать, что ничего нет. Собака, вроде мирная. Ага, хуй. Ёбаный в рот. О, шашлычок. Мясо волка. Похоже, честно говоря, на собачатину, но скорее всего оно и есть. М2 во время блокирования для нанесения контратаки. Да какая там контратака? Мы сейчас будем тупо бежать. Пожечь. Все, зачились. Ничего не выпало. О, лунная морковь меня хилит. Опа, левел ап. Вы получили... повысили свой уровень до 2, получили 5 очков обучения, 4 очка крафтинга и 1 очко воспоминания. Интересно. Так. Ну мы будем за мага играть, поэтому ману качать, естественно. Кто? Краб. Речной краб. Уничтожен. Клешня краба. Заберем. Лопата. Тяжелая кожаная кираса. Так, секретный проход в водопаде. Как нету? Как нету? В пище? Ага, вот. Сейчас у меня 353. О, муравьи. А ты кто?
Now would you look at that? I knew I'd seen someone scrambling in the mountains. What brings you here, my sir? Who am I? Finn Delires, apothecarius by my path. Pleased to meet you. And you are at Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. Where are you from? But wait, don't tell me. I know that accent. Nerim, isn't it?
There we go. Everything's locked up. At least for the night we should. Wait a second. Who's that?
Just an adventurer on his way. No reason to worry.
No reason to worry? For heck's sake, Finn. How do you know that this guy isn't with the bandits? You said you'd call me if anyone showed up. And now you're standing here, having a chat with him as if this were the bathing house of Ark.
Lo and behold, we are still alive. Now, is there anything else, Carbos?
I've got my eye on you. Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it. Unbelievable.
May I present Carbos, as he lives and breathes. Sorry about that just now. That's just how he is. In any case, if you don't need any more help, I'd suggest you move on. Follow the way east behind the dam house. It'll lead you to a village called Riverville. Ah, here, take this. Truth be told, you don't look so healthy. Your eyes... well, whatever.
Так. Нам нужно знание. О, может целых 2 знания.
Well, what can I tell you? This is the Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. A pretty peaceful area, except for all the animals and bandits that have recently started going crazy. And, well, that's pretty much it. I think you should ask the people in Riverville if you want to know more. They certainly have some stories to tell. To an adventurer? If you ask me, what you need before you adventure anywhere is some good old-fashioned shut-eye. But yes, there are some places. The Three River Watch, for example, right there below the stone arch. It was once an old trading post, but now it's full of shady characters. Ah, and there's also a big Pyrian ruin south of it. By the Black Guardian, you really are an outlander, aren't you? My path is... well, it's just me path. My role designated to me by Malthus. A kind of calling, if you will.
50 очков дает.
Not exactly. Malthus designates our place in society. Generally the same one our fathers and forefathers occupied. I walk the path of the erudites, and there's also the manufacturers, the sublimes, and, of course, the pathless. Within these roles we are free to choose a profession, but certain vocations that are available to an erudite are not permitted to a manufacturer, which is one path below. However, below does not mean that it is in any way inferior. Everyone on Enderal does what they do best. And who would know better than the gods what exactly that is?
Кто? Кого? Чего?
And over here, there's a rumor that the Golden Queen has a weakness for men in gowns. Seriously, be careful with that kind of gossip. I know you don't mean any harm, but there are a few who might consider it heresy. Maybe, but if I look at other countries, even within the civilized world, it's hard to find a people as peaceful as ours. Don't mention it. I wish you a quick recovery and safe roads. Walk blessed. Carbos, do we need the still tomorrow? Or can I clean all the tools?
Ебаня нирвана, чел. Реально.
Don't bother me.
I guess that means no.
Ой-ой-ой.
By the righteous path. What happened to you? You look as if you've met the Black Guardian himself. Fever? Well, There could be many causes.
Корни.
Wait a moment. I think I still have some grunt root. That should be enough to ease your pain, at least for now. Take a seat at the fire. The warmth might help you.
Oh, so now we're brewing potions for complete strangers.
Well,
Сесть могу.
if the
только на
strangers are
кресло.
about to die of fever, then yes. There was that oath we swore once, remember? To help the afflicted, to...
Whatever.
Thank you. Gruntroots, gruntroots. Ah, here we go.
Красиво тут. Луна здоровенная.
So, let's see. Sheer cup, some water. Ha! Done. I can't make any promises,
Shit.
but...
Finn! The still!
Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh, no!
Что происходит?
Oh, sod it!
Do I really have to watch every step you take? That was a fucking close call.
Нас, блядь, едва не разорвало.
Hey, I'm sorry, alright. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
Yeah, you're paying for it. Here I thought this bloody
Что
day could
случилось?
get worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here,
Что-то
drink
бахнуло
this.
конкретно.
It'll
Причем.
help you. See, you already look a lot better. Still, you should let a priest take a look at that fever as soon as possible. The grunt root potion will wane in a few days. What? You mean the still? Bad quality and too much heat, I'd wager. But, whatever will be, will be. Explosion. I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Finn Dalleries. Died in 8234. Cause of death, exploding still.
Ha ha. Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that?
Да что опять-то?
I could have sworn I saw something moving over there. Oh shit!
What the? Carbos!
They've hit me, Finn.
Там стрела в шею прям попала.
They've hit me.
Carbos! Do something, damn it!
Ух ты же, блядь.
Now look at that. Our mysterious survivor has awoken.
Началось. Джеспар Дальварек? Что за имя такое?
Jaspar Matumiel Delveric. Jaspar for short. And you, my friend, are at my very own campsite. Before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into the thicket. Most of your injuries are only superficial, but your fever, well, that's a different story. Quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from Arcanist's fever. Honestly, I'm surprised the old apothecarius didn't see that. Let me guess, you're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the bard songs, right? You're unusually strong, you have reflexes like a cat, and drinking potions or any kind of magically infused substance leaves a bitter afterglow in your head. Well then, congratulations.
Есть
Your
немного.
magical talent just blossomed. A bit late, given your age, but it happens. Put simply, the fever is a result of your body not being able to cope with it. It's not much of a problem for now, but if you don't let an Arcanist treat you sometime soon, things are going to get grim. Contain it, not cure it. From here on out, you're always going to be a little more sensitive than someone without magical gifts. But that's tolerable compared to what your magic will allow you to do. Prone to certain conditions. As I said, your fever will get worse if you drink healing potions. But you'll also be a lot more susceptible to nightmares and those kinds of things. Also, you should be very cautious of areas with magical contamination, such as Thalgard in the east. At first, diffuse headaches, general unease. Later on, your eyesight will blur, your limbs will grow weak, and you'll get a maddening itch all over your body. If you leave it untreated for too long, you'll either die or turn into an Orbaya.
Кто? Это ж они рофлят? Они специально такие имена делают, названия?
Yes, it can kill you. Everything has its price, as the wise hermit likes to say. And an Orbaya is basically a giant undead version of yourself with tumors and pus all over your body. Just never let the fever get too bad. Well, there's ambrosia, but for an uncontained fever, it'll only postpone the symptoms. Later, you can drink it whenever the fever gets worse. The stuff looks and tastes like undead sweat, and is bloody expensive, but it's the only thing that really helps. You have visions? Not that I know of. The only visions I've ever had are those that come along with a good pipe of peaceweed. You know what? As I said, someone needs to contain your fever as soon as possible. And as it happens, I know people. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. What did you do in that temple? And what's the story with those visions? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you, and that intrigues me. What do you say? Well, then, the stage is yours. I see. My condolences for your loss.
Да я их даже не знал.
Let me summarize. You somehow survived getting thrown into the open sea, and while you were half dead, had this dream in which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light? Huh. And you also said that your magic didn't develop gradually, as it usually does, but all at once, right? Well, that's quite the story. I guess you know how absurd it sounds, but for some reason, I believe you. I've met a lot of liars in my life, and you aren't one of them. All right, it's settled then. I'll introduce you to my employer and ask him to treat you. Before we leave, however, there's something else I need to take care of, and I could use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can make for Ark.
Ark?
Ark? The capital of this country? Walls high as towers of iron-hard stone rest alone in the mountains in granite enthroned. Never decaying, the ages surveying, guarded by Malphus, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You're going to see it soon.
Отлично.
Up to you. But without me accompanying you, the guards won't let you into the Sun Temple in Ark. And that's the only place you can get your fever treated. Splendid. You'll need some information before you can help me, though. I take it the fact that Vin has seen better times hasn't eluded your
Сплошные
attention, has it?
диалоги.
For the last 2 years, there have been wars and unrest everywhere.
Ничего не поделаешь.
And even though in Enderal there's officially peace, there are peculiar things happening here, too. Normally docile animals and fateers attacking in the open. The dead awakening in hordes. It's unsettling, to say the least. The strangest thing, however, is the red madness. Yeah. It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their mind. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a smith in Ark who butchered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like "Fear the light" while he was doing it. Or a young woman of noble path who set her own house on fire while her family was asleep. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen incidents in a very short period of time. The fact that the afflicted's eyes glow red while they go rampant has made people call the disease the red madness. Thing is, some weeks ago it happened again. Only this time it was a magister from the Holy Order itself.
Магистр.
A teacher who instructs the novices aspiring to become keepers. His name was Yarrow, a man with more than 60 winners on his back. Well, according to the sole survivor, he entered the teaching room that day as usual, but instead of giving his lecture on alchemy, he gave a strange kind of speech where he kept going on about how mankind is corrupted and that it has succumbed to the void. Then his eyes started glowing, he locked the door and blew himself up in a magical explosion.
Интересно.
I'm not one for vows and austerity, so no, I'm no keeper. My specialty is recovering lost things. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do just that. They want to know how a man like Yarrow could fall victim to the Red Madness. And thus, if there's something like a pattern to this malady. Doesn't matter. Yarrow grew up in a small village not far from here. And according to the Order, he visited it quite often after his partner died. What I want your help with is finding clues as to why he did what he did. What do you think?
Okay.
Great. First of all, I want you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred. Secondly, a farm boy told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the sea during his last visit there. The winds have been blowing inland the last couple of days, so go search the shoreline and see if it washed up. I myself will take a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Ah, and here. This is a map of the region. Yarrow's house is at the blue dot. So, unless there's anything else, I'd say let's step to it. Just meet me at the farm when you're done.
Звездочка, количество сложности. Понятно. Ну. Пс. Если досмотрел до конца, то, в принципе, можешь там посмотреть на Twitch. Вдруг я там что-то стримлю. Мало ли. Ну так, на всякий случай. Есть что там, инфа на экране. Все, давай, ушел.